whatever study materials I have given you, all those topics will be performed practically. I will try to cover out as many number of topics today in the form of practical classes. You can go through practical classes, and once I create the WhatsApp group, if you have the laptop and computer at your home, I will send you the entire process of installing Java in your system, so that sitting at home you can do your practical classes also. Mind you, you have to maintain a lab assignment file also, but that will come all together after we complete so with the other topics related to the practical classes. Okay, so now we'll move on to the Java programming today. Okay, so this is basically the program. Okay, this is the BlueJ window, as you can see. Okay, this is the place where all the Java programs are created. All these kind of yellow boxes which you can see is the name of the class, because the first and the foremost features of the Java program is that Java is the object-oriented program. Okay, and class is the important feature of object-oriented programming. So whatever program we do, first thing is that we have to create a class, and inside the class only we will create the program. If you remember, I have used the concept every program has a program name in class 8. These program names are nothing but class name. Okay, so whatever the names you can see on the top of these yellow boxes, these are all class name. In a simple language, these are, in a very simple words, these are name of the program. But since we are dealing with a Java programming, so we will use the word class. So these are all name of the class, and inside the class we will prepare the Java program. So since we are dealing with the chapter called values and data types, okay, apart from that there are some other topics related to this. The first and the foremost thing is that Java tokens, and as I said, the definition of the Java tokens implies that it is the smallest individual unit which are combined together to form a program. So if I have to show you the Java tokens out here, there are so many Java tokens. You can see some special operators out here. Asterisk is there, semicolon is there, dot is there, curly brackets are there. These are part of Java tokens. Another element of the Java tokens are keywords. So if you can see import, public, class, then you have static, all these, the name of the data types, all these are what? These are specific word, reserved words of the Java compiler. So these are also part of Java tokens. Okay. There is another element of the Java token which is termed as, it is termed as punctuators. Punctuators means the operators, different kind of symbols. So here in this case, the punctuators are nothing but different kind of brackets that we are using in the program. The first type of bracket is the curly braces, as you can see. Okay, you can jot down all these names as an example of each and every topic. So these kind of brackets that you can see, circle brackets, curly braces, okay, all these braces are known as the punctuators, which is also part of Java tokens. The another element of the Java tokens are known as literals and identifiers. The other name of literal is constant, and other name of identifier is a variable. Okay, so how will you understand? For example, beside the keyword class you write data. Data is an identifier, which means the name of the class is data. So with the name of, with this particular name, you can identify that this is a class name. Okay, so this word becomes identifier. Okay, out here a comma a1 is written beside the data type. Since it is written beside the data type, we can consider this to be a variable, that is a and a1 is of byte type. So this a and a1 becomes an identifier. Okay, another c, c1, d, d1, these all are identifier, because with this name we can identify that these are variables. Okay, these are variables. Okay, then you have this name data beside the keyword called class, so this is known as identifier. Okay, there are so many different forms of identifiers. Okay, then within the double quotation you are using this printing statement, so this printing statement is the identifier. So there are various forms of identifiers. Now to be very specific with the two words, that is variable and the literals, always remember variables are the storage location where we can store certain value. That means out here if you see a, a1, b, b1, c, c1, d, d1, these are all examples of variable. Why these are the variables? Because these are the name of the memory location where we can store some value. Always remember, without a value we cannot perform anything. Try to understand, without a value no kind of operation can, you cannot perform any operation. So all the values have certain type. Like if I tell you that biology is a value. Now if I ask the type of value of biology, you will say science. Science becomes data type and biology becomes the value. That means biology is the value of type science. So that means whatever data, whatever values that we are dealing with in the Java program, all these values have two elements. Number one is the variable. As you can see, so many variables are there. In this variable we can store some value. And what is the second element of this value? Every value has certain type. Okay, so whatever you can see, these red color keywords, these are known as types. You can also say data type. This data type indicates that what kind of value can this variable can store. Try to understand. The thing is that we will go in details further. Every data type has a limitation. In a if your variable has a capacity of storing decimal number, you cannot store any alphabets, you cannot store any sentences into that. If your value has a capacity of storing sentence or any alphabets, any letters, there you cannot store any numbers. Okay, if you remember the chart of the data type which was discussed in the class, there were two types of data type. One is primitive data type, one is non-primitive data type. So initial cases we will discuss mostly on the primitive data type. And inside the primitive data type you have again two types of data type. One is integer and one is character. Okay, so one is integer, one is floating, and one is character. Character deals with any value which are written in the single quotation. I repeat again, characters deals with those values which are written in a single quotation, and they are read as alphabets or the letters which are written in the single quotation. Okay, then you have the integers. Integers deal with the whole number, and you have the floating point number which are dealing with the decimal numbers. Now in details you have to go to the in details of the each of this data type. Number one is byte. Byte is a form of integer data type. Acha. One more element which I would like to add is that everywhere you can see that slash star or double slash, these are used. These are termed as the command line statement. When you are using the double slash, it means it is a single line statement. Out here, as you can see, there is a slash star, and at the end here is a star slash. This is known as multi-line statement. That means you have to understand, in the command line statement, command line are those lines which never get executed inside the Java programs. Okay, means the Java compiler will not read these lines. I repeat, Java compiler will not read all these lines, because Java compiler treat this program, but these lines, as a command line statement. So it has nothing to do with the Java programs. Now, people often use this command line statement to explain what particular line or the particular code segment is. Just like, as you can see, I have written double slash integer. I just want to explain that byte is a form of integer data type. Okay, byte is a form of integer data type. What happened? Byte can store a very small values. I repeat, byte can store very small values. Okay, short, next is the short. The range of the values are given in the study materials. If you can please go through it. Short, okay, short is the bigger version of the byte. Short is the bigger version of the byte, and it is also again belongs to the integer category. That means only whole numbers can be stored. Okay, okay, when I'm talking about the whole number, you also have to remember it can store positive number as well as negative number. In this case also, it can store any positive number as well as the negative number. Okay, this you all are accustomed with, because your entire Java programs in class 8 I have taught you using int. Int is the most flexible part of the entire integer data type. Okay, this int, see the sequence, try to understand the sequence. This int is bigger than your byte and short. That means much more bigger numbers can be stored. Again, you can store any positive number as well as the negative number also. Moving on to the long. Long is the largest of integer data type. Okay, mostly when we talk about millions and billions kind of value or trillion kind of value, this is the occasion where the long data type is used. Okay, suppose 2 trillion, 1 billion, 11.5 million, when we are using this kind of bigger value, what happened? Your long data type is that kind of the data type which are used. Again, it has the possibility of accepting both negative value as well as the positive value. Now mind you, when I'm using this command line statement, Java compiler will not read these lines. And these, when you are using the double slash before writing anything, mind you, these are single line comments. I can write, these are single line comment. Okay, all of this, these are single line comment, these are single line comment, these are single line comments. Okay, that means you can write small comment within one single line. Okay, then comes, after we complete the categories of the integer, next comes the concept of decimal numbers, obviously. So in decimal numbers we have two categories. In decimal number we have two categories. Number one is float. Number one is float. Okay, the specificity of the float is that it is bigger than all the other integer data type. try to understand. Float is bigger than all the data types which are present in the integer category. Okay, the speciality is that it can again store any positive number as well as the negative number, but the speciality is that float data type give you much more closer to the approximate value. That means it has a potential to store 8 values after the decimal places. It has a potential to store the number of storing 8 values after the decimal places. Maximum, this is a maximum limit that I can tell you, whether it is a negative value or it is a positive value. Okay, so this part is used to store any decimal number. Okay, next come the double. Double is again the largest of all the other data types. Okay, it is also have the potential of storing a decimal values. Okay, both positive and negative numbers can be stored. Okay, it has a potential to store 16 values. I repeat, 16 values after the decimal. So if you see all the sequence of the increasing order of the data types, first come byte, then come short, then come integer, then come long, then come float, then come double. Okay, now character, C-H-A-R, char. Okay, it is termed as a character. Now you have to understand the speciality of the character. The speciality of the character is that whatever things you write within the single quotation, I hope you can see the single quotation on your screen. Whatever things you write the single quotation in a screen is treated as a letter or an alphabet. Okay, but mind you, there are some limitations. That is, only one character can be written in the only one character can be written inside the single quotation. Okay, if you write capital A in the single quotation, this is correct. This is one of the correct example of the character data type. Okay, if you write any small letter B, this is also again a perfect example. Okay, you can write any number 1. Okay, 1 will be treated as a letter, not as a number in this case. Okay, so 1 when you write within single quotation becomes a character type. Okay, you can also write any negative number, -3. Okay, this is also treated as a character data type. Now what I was telling is the limitation.
Sir, we can use any symbol in it.
Yes, we can use any symbol. Good. In the single quotation, if you write semicolon, the semicolon is treated as certain alphabet. Okay, so symbols can also be used in the character data type. But now comes the limitation. Limitation is that the wrong way of writing character value, you cannot write in single quotation A1. This is wrong. A is one character, 1 is another character. Multiple character cannot be written, so I'm putting a cross button beside it. Okay, this is wrong way of writing character. Okay, then I can give you another example. Let's say you are writing 2.0. This is wrong. This is again wrong. 2 is a different character, 0 is a different character. So as you can see from the examples, the differences, only one character can be written in the single quotation. Multiple character cannot be written in the single quotation. Okay, this is the disadvantage of the character. So we are dealing with only one character at a time in the single quotation. Okay, multiple characters like this 2 or 3 or maybe more than one character cannot be taken in the single quotation. This is the disadvantage of the character type value. Okay, so you have to remember what in the list which the study material which I have given, you have to understand the range of the value for each and every data type. What is the starting range and the final range of the value, that a data type can hold. Okay, so that I'm going to show you right now, okay, in the form of the example. Now see, what I will do for each and every data type, I will take few correct input and few incorrect input. I don't think I will be able to finish off today, but I will try to cover up as many topic as possible. Okay, so I will compile the program. As you can see, no syntax error at the bottom of the screen. So that means my program is absolutely perfect. So now I'll just close this. Okay, right click. This is my program. Right click. I will go on to void main. Now here it is asked enter the value of A. You might forget. So for your understanding, what I will do, I will keep the program also open on my screen. A is what data type? Byte. Okay, so I have to take the smallest value of all. So first I will take a wrong input. I will take, let's say, 15,042 or maybe 1542. I have taken this value. I'll just like to see whether variable A can hold or not. I press enter. Now see, suddenly an error has occurred in the screen and the program has been stopped. Why? Now see the kind of error, value out of range. Why? Because variable A is a byte data type. I repeat, variable A is a byte data type. So it cannot take such a big value. So that is the limitation. So since the value, so such a big value cannot be taken. I repeat, since such a big value cannot be taken, so I have to shorten the value. So what I will do, I will see that whether I can take any smaller value or not. Okay, so I'll just clean the screen and then I will restart my program. So let me say, I'll take any single value, let's say -1. See, -1 has been taken. Okay, that means it is understood.
Sir, can it take 2-digit number?
I am showing you one after the other. Just
Okay.
hold on. Just hold on. I am as I said, I will take few valid input and I will take few invalid input also. So just hold on. Okay, so what I will do, I have to stop my program out here. Stop debugger. Just a second. Stop a minute. Okay. So I will make few changes in the program for your benefit. What I will do is that I will disable all this line. All the other line I will disable. And as I was expecting, I will fall the short of line. And I will do the compilation. Okay, fine. So my program is absolutely okay. Now I'll run the program. Now I have taken a negative value. So negative value is acceptable. Now as Jishu has asked, so I will try to see whether 2-digit value can be taken. So I am taking 23. 23 is acceptable. So 23 lies within the lower limit and the upper limit of the byte data type. So this value can be accepted. That is why the value is getting stored into the data type. I'll rerun the program.
So what is the limit?
The limit is given in the book. You have to study. It's already being discussed. Now, what I will do is that I'll go for a little bigger number. So I'll go with, let's say 786, a 3-digit number. Error. That means byte data type cannot accept any 3-digit number. So this is the conclusion. It can accept any positive number, it can accept any negative number, but it cannot accept any 3-digit number. So there is a limitations. Okay, so that is why, since it's a very small data type, it cannot accept such a big value. So what we will do is that Yes, we do have sufficient time. So I will stop this byte data type for the time being. Okay, I'll stop the byte data type for the time being, and I will try to see if I can store any bigger number. Okay, if I can store any bigger number. Okay. Okay. So what I have done is that I have disabled my variable a part, and this time I will try with short, which is bigger than the byte data type. So if I compile it, there is a program. There is a problem. What is the problem? There is some kind of error. Just give me a moment so that, okay, I got it. The scanner class has got disabled. That is why it is not running. So what I do is that I'll take that outside. Now if I compile the program, okay, no syntax.
No, right.
So it's absolutely fine. So now we have a short data type. So B will accept shorter value. So we'll try to see whether it can accept the byte value as well as the bigger value. So we'll try out. So after my compilation has been successfully done, now if I run the program, B is, mind you, is a short data type, not the byte. So I'll try out with a very small number first. 1 can be accepted in the byte data type. So can it be accepted in the short? Yes, because short is the bigger data type than the byte. So short data type can accept the byte value as well as the bigger value. That is the conclusion. Okay. So 1 has been accepted in the byte data type. It can also get accepted in the short. So I will rerun the program to see if I can take any negative value. Okay. Enter the value of B. Okay. So I'll try out with the bigger negative value, minus 98. Accepted. Because byte data type accepts 2-digit number. So that is why it has accepted. So minus 98 has also been accepted in the short data type also. Always remember, bigger data type can accept the values of the short data type. Okay. So now I will go with a bigger number this time. Enter the value of B. So I'll go with 4-digit number. Let me see if it's acceptable. 4, 5, 6, 7. 4-digit number acceptable. It has accepted 4-digit number. But 4, 5, 6, 7, you cannot store it in the byte data type. You can store it in the short data type. So it's a bigger number. So it has the potential of accepting 4-digit number. Okay. Now I will rerun the program again to see if it can accept 6-digit number. I'll take a negative number this time. Minus 8, 7, 8, 9, 5, 6. Mismatch, out of range, cannot be accepted. Cannot be accepted. So 6-digit number cannot be stored into the short data type. Neither it can be stored in the byte data type. Byte data type is much more smaller. So can we try with a 5-digit number just to see whether the values can be accepted or not? So let's go on to this. Enter the value of B. So I'm trying with a 5-digit number, 5, 6, 4, 1, 7. Any random number I'm taking. So see, 5-digit number has also not been taken. That means what? The short data type has the maximum capacity of taking only 4-digit number, whether it can be a positive number or it can be a negative number. Okay, so how will you know these 4-digit number, 5-digit number? In the study material, you will see number of bytes. Okay, whatever is the total number of bytes, that is the power value, 2 to the power those many value. If it is of 2 byte, that means 2 to the power 2 is equal to 4. That means maximum 4 digit is acceptable. It is of 1 byte, that means 2 to the power 1 is equal to 2 digit. So maximum can be accepted. Okay, so just I would like to stop this for a moment just to show you that how it can be done. Just a minute. Okay, so just to show you this particular thing, if I move on little bit downwards where all the data types are mentioned, see, this is what I am talking about. The data type, the storage capacity. 1 bit means what? 2 to the power 1. Okay, 2 to the power. Achha, this is the Boolean type. What we have done? We have done byte and short. We have done byte and short. Okay, so what is the range? The range says minus 2 to the power 7 and 2 to the power 7 minus 1. What is 2 to the power 7? Can anyone calculate and tell me? Fast, time is getting over. 2 to the power 7 is how much? 4 for the 16, 16 for the 64, 128. So so any number which ranges from minus 128 and 127, byte data type can store that value. I repeat, whichever number that ranges from minus 128 and 127, minus 128, move towards the positive number 127, that is 128 minus 1, because 0 is also included. So any number ranging between this range, that values you can store in the byte data type. Okay, again you have this 2 to the power 15. So this is much more bigger, that is why. So you can store the maximum of 4-digit values in the short data type. Okay, integer long we will discuss in the next class as we are ending up with the time. So basically you have to study this, you have to learn by heart. Only then you can understand the importance of the variables, you can understand the importance of the data type, and accordingly you can store the value. I'll share the link in the YouTube. You can subscribe my channel and download the YouTube video just to see the practical study. Okay, and I would request everyone